Do you have these traits? You might be more special than you think, and here's why. In today's noisy and conformist world, holding on to your personal identity is like swimming against the current. Staying true to yourself amid countless social expectations is no easy feat. Yet there exists a small group of people, and you might be one of them, who simply cannot live any other way because they were born with a unique set of emotional and psychological traits. Modern psychologists have found that certain rare psychological qualities are only present in a small percentage of the population. These individuals not only live differently, they feel, think, love, and exist with extraordinary depth. Below are 6 prominent signs that you might be one of them. 1. You don't accept things at face value and always ask questions. While most people feel safe following the established path, you often feel uneasy if you don't fully understand the essence of something. Since childhood, you may have been asked, "Why do you always argue?" Simply because you always asked, "Why is it like that? Why do we have to do this? Who says that's right?" You're not afraid to dig into the root of things. You observe everything through a critical and analytical lens, which can make you feel tired at times for overthinking. But on the other hand, it cultivates independent thinking, creativity, and a deeper understanding of the world. People like you tend to be less susceptible to media influence, social norms, or public opinion because you need to see the truth with your own eyes, hear it with your own ears, and understand it with both your mind and your heart. That is a gift, but also a lonely journey. 2. You're not satisfied with surface-level conversations. You crave depth. You can listen to others talk about vacations, the latest TV shows, or trending foods, but deep down, you always feel something's missing. You long to talk about life philosophies, forgotten dreams, and unspoken fears. You're not bad at small talk because you're unfriendly, but because you value genuine connection. A coffee meeting only becomes memorable if both people can open their souls, not just exchange information, but share emotions. This might make you seem serious or distant, but those who've shared a long night of heartfelt conversation with you know, to you, a relationship, whether friendship or romance, without depth simply cannot last. 3. You think carefully before speaking, and that makes you trustworthy. Unlike many who speak without thinking, you understand that every word carries weight. Sometimes, a poorly timed or poorly phrased sentence is enough to hurt someone or create an irreparable misunderstanding. That's why you always take a moment to reflect before responding. You choose your words, tone, and even your gaze carefully. Others may see you as quiet or reserved, but they soon realize when you say something, it means you've thought it through, and that makes you a great listener and a reliable person. You don't enjoy talking just for the sake of it. You speak when there's something worth saying, and your silence is often a form of emotional expression. Interestingly, your silence sometimes says more than any speech could. 4. You cherish solitude and turn it into a creative space. In a society where being constantly busy is a badge of worth, choosing to be alone is often misunderstood. But you don't feel that way. On the contrary, your alone time is when you feel most authentic. You're not afraid of silence. You find comfort in it. When external noise quiets down, you can finally hear your own voice. That's when you write, draw, create, reflect, or simply rest without interruption. Not everyone understands this. They may see you as cold or distant, when in truth, you're just protecting your inner world from unnecessary noise. And from that silence, you nurture big ideas, true emotions, and an unshakable inner strength. 5. You don't need to fit in because you know who you are. From the way you dress, think, to the way you live, everything reflects one clear truth. You don't chase societal standards. You don't dress to be trendy, but to feel like yourself. You don't act to gain approval, but to be at peace with your conscience. Have you ever felt out of place for being too different? Ever wondered how others blend in so easily, while you always have to pretend to be normal? If yes, it's because you don't belong in a mold. You belong to yourself. And the beautiful thing is, people like you, once they find their own voice, often become the most powerful sources of inspiration. You don't teach others to live by a formula. You simply show them that being true to oneself is a path worth walking, even if it comes with a price. 6. You feel everything with rare intensity, both joy and pain. When you love with all your heart. When you grieve, the sorrow doesn't just pass, it seems to seep into every cell. You can't easily ignore the pain of others sometimes. You even feel it for them. You can sense emotional shifts in a room before anyone says a word. You see what others overlook. You hear what's never been spoken. This depth of empathy is sometimes a gift helping you connect deeply with others. But other times, it's a burden as you carry emotions that aren't even yours. Yet it's from this very depth that compassion is born. Imagination flourishes, and a richly colored inner world is created, one that no one can replicate. Conclusion: being different isn't a flaw. It's a sign of a rare soul. If you recognize these traits within yourself, remember that you're not alone. You're one of the few who live authentically, feel deeply, and dare to be themselves in a world obsessed with normalcy. Don't let anyone make you feel wrong for being different. That difference isn't something to hide, it's something to be celebrated. You're not strange. You're simply on a path few choose, and that's what makes it so valuable. If you see yourself in these words, share them with those you believe are kindred spirits. And if you want to keep receiving stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your presence here is truly precious.